All right, guys, we're back with Lorena Serrano, Geo West Senior Marketing Manager for Foot Locker Corporation. She is based out of Los Angeles. She's also an advisory board member here at ACC Fashion Incubator. We are proud to have Lorena Serrano with us here today. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so much fun.
Absolutely. So today we're talking a little bit more about pathways. So, it's really important for our students and our local industry to understand, what's kind of a path you could take to this career. Everyone has their own journey. We all know that, but I'd love to kind of just, hear a little bit about some of the roles that you've held kind of leading up to this moment for you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I started from the ground up. So marketing has many parts to it, right? Whether you want to get into event marketing, social media, digital content creation, market research, event planning, which is experiential marketing, influencer marketing now, social media marketing, which is managing all platforms from social media that are currently trending. But for me, I was able to really go into experiential marketing, which is event production, that led me to the agency world. And from there, I decided that I want to be in the account management side of it. I started in advertising agencies here in LA, and I was able to learn across different categories in terms of consumer goods. So my first client was Coca-Cola, and I was able to work in the account management side, which is incredible because you learn how to service clients. So you work with the account directors, the agency owners, and bring campaigns to reality. So in that moment, I realized, wow, I love this. I love sitting in brainstorm meetings. I love creating campaign slogans. I love the whole 360 approach of what it takes to bring campaigns to life, from digital, social, experiential. And honestly, for me as a marketing person, I would say start in an agency first, because if you have an opportunity to start in a marketing agency, you will get to touch so many different brands and projects that will diversify your thinking in terms of what is it that you really want to do. That's, do you want to do social media? Do you want to do event management? Do you want to do market research, trend forecasting? Do you want to do retail marketing? Specifically for the students here, for Foot Locker, the uniqueness here is that we do have our marketing team, our headquarters team, but we work with product developers, right? Right now, we have an initiative that's called Greenhouse. So this particular group of people identify collaboration opportunities. So if you said to me, hey, Lorena, I would love to do a Walking Dead shoe with Nike, but I want the Nike Cortez. So I said, fantastic. Let me get our Greenhouse team involved and see how do we bring that to life. So specifically for Foot Locker as an organization, there's opportunities to go into product development. If you want to do visual merchandising, right? I want to be the person that's bringing that storytelling to the stores via our visual merchandising. Or actually, no, I want to be the person that's going to be doing the buying for the apparel. I want to be that buyer that's allocating what I think makes sense in the market. So there's just so much opportunity in terms of what it is. But I think the way for you to identify that would be through an internship and exploring internships, because that's going to give you a vantage point of what is available to you in terms of when you decide to make that career decision for yourself.
That's awesome. I appreciate you breaking down all the different components of it too, because I think a lot of times people are like marketing and they're like, and it's just it's a huge well of other segments that you can be a part of. I mean, from the experiential component that you explained to the various social media platforms to, there's so much. Now the product development piece, I was actually really surprised by. So can you just tell me a little bit more about that? Because how did that work?
Absolutely. So Greenhouse is an initiative that you guys can look at, go greenhouse.com Footlocker.com, Foot Locker. And basically, they're our internal team that focuses on brand partnerships with apparel. So one thing that I'm really excited right now that we're doing for Los Angeles is it's a K-Swiss shoe, the classic. And we are collaborating with Randy Donuts, which is an LA staple. So we're dropping a Randy Donuts K-Swiss collaboration shoe. And basically that department identifies opportunities that make sense from a North America lens all the way to a very hyper local city lens, right? So there's a team that is working on securing the licensing back with Randy Donuts, saying, hey, Randy Donuts, can we use your name, your likeness, your usage? Then that team is now going to K-Swiss and saying, hey, K-Swiss, Randy Donuts said, yes, we can use your image. What shoe can we put this creation on? Oh, you know what? The K-Swiss Classic Original. Wonderful. Then K-Swiss comes back to Greenhouse and says, okay, what are the designs that you guys are putting together for this storytelling? And the Greenhouse team has designers that say, you know what? I would love the landscape of LA with the Randy Donuts and that silhouette incorporated into the shoe. There's a specific color wave that's tied to Randy Donuts, right? So there's a team that designs what the shoe is going to look like. Once everyone likes it, from Randy Donuts to K-Swiss, our team here in headquarters, then the shoe goes into production and we manage that. So we have an internal facility that is based out of Bradenton, Florida, that does all the production for us in-house. And in addition to that, we also have a program that's called Homegrown. So for me specifically, I work with all the local brands. So there's one brand here in LA. She's of Latinx heritage. It's called Viva La Bonita. And she started creating this very streetwear Latinx, almost tied to the Chicano culture streetwear brand. And I just saw her getting traction on Instagram. And I said, would you want to drop a capsule collection with Foot Locker LA? And she said, yes. So I started those conversations with the buying team, because they're the ones that secure the allocations, how many SKUs they're buying, what is their budget, does this brand make sense? It made total sense. Now, Viva La Bonita is not only on the West Coast, she is now being sold in Texas and New York City. So it's, Mark, wow. I mean, I think my role, I don't know if there's other organizations or if Nike does this, but Foot Locker LA, we really do touch a lot of, we're in it, like developing these stories, even brokering these conversations with the local brands, from Greenhouse to our homegrown platform.
That's exciting. Wow, what a dynamic role where, I mean, you really are on so many different levels, bringing in new brands, working with older brands, more established brands, iconic brands. I mean, K-Swiss Classic is just like, all the things of my childhood, right? You're just like, that's the shoe I wore, I think Absolutely. Everyone remembers whenever they wore their K-Swiss Classics. So, the canvas or the leather was kind of like your story, right? You're like, okay, which one are you?
Absolutely, the leather, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so I wanted to, I know that we want to honor your time, and, we really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Catch us back here next week for a continuation of our conversation with Lorena Serrano. And also, if you haven't followed us on our social media handles, check us out at ACC Fashion Incubator on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, if you want to just send us a quick note, go ahead and send us an email at fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. See you next time.